Hello everyone, Okeanskiy here, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we'll be going over head movement with camera. So as the camera moves, we're going to have our character's head move around. This was highly requested after my camera bobble tutorial. People were wondering how do I move my head with my camera, and so I thought I'd just go ahead and show you guys how to do that. So first thing first, it's just going to be one local script in the starter character scripts, in the starter character scripts folder. Just one local script. Just go ahead and add that. And because this is a local script, this is client-sided only, meaning only the player will see their own head move. Other players can't see it, and the server can't see it. Replicating this to the server is very intensive, and managing that is a topic of its own for another day. But for now, we're going to do on the client. So I'm going to go ahead and name this head movement. Alright, now that we have our blank script open, I'm going to go ahead and grab the important parts that we'll need to put this together. The first one being the camera. And for the client, that's just going to be workspace.currentCamera. And I'm also going to grab the character and a couple parts inside of it. So I'm going to do local character equals game.players.localPlayer.character. And I'm going to grab inside of that character its humanoid root part by doing local root equals character weight for child humanoid root part. And then I'm going to grab the neck motor, which is character find first child neck, and then I'll also put true here so that find first child runs recursively. Okay, so just to quickly show you where the neck is inside of a player's R15 model. We have all the parts here that you're familiar with, but inside of the head, we actually have the neck motor, and this is a Motor6D that just connects the upper torso and the head. We're going to actually be manipulating the CFrame, or not the CFrame, but the CO, which we'll get to in a minute. It's a CFrame value, and this is actually going to change the way the head is attached to the torso, and that will give us some rotation movement. Alright, now that we have the root and the neck, both will be very useful. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the actual main part of the script. This is a function that's going to run every single frame. So I'm going to do get service run service dot render stepped :connect function, and make a new function. We'll go ahead and make sure that we have the neck when this runs, so we don't run into any errors. So if neck then, and then in all Motor6D objects we have a property called CO, which is the CFrame that I was talking about, and this is what we're going to be manipulating to change the way the head is attached to the torso. So if I just go ahead and put a blank CFrame.new here, CFrame.new 000, you'll actually get to see where the head will be if I just set the next CFrame to 000. So let's go ahead and run that. Alright, as you can see, this is actually the original position of the head before it gets moved because of the CO CFrame. Because we'll be manipulating the CFrame, we're actually going to have to put CFrame.new, and just to make sure, or just to put it back to where it originally was, what we can do is after we've gotten the neck, we can actually do local y offset equals neck dot CFrame or part 1 C or part 0 CFrame or C0 dot y, and then right here we just put y offset, and then the neck will be placed right back to where it was beforehand, and then we can get right back to working on changing the angles of our head. Alright, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is add some CFrame.Angles, so CFrame.Angles, and I'm going to be changing 2 of the angles separately, so I'm going to actually put down 2 CFrame.Angles, one for, if I put 0, 0, 0, and then same thing here. The first one, I'm actually going to go ahead and change the y value, the y-axis rotation, and this is going to give us side-to-side motion. So if I put a 1 right here, I'll actually move my head a little bit to the side. So as you can see, my head is now a little bit looking that way instead of straight. And if I will be using CFrame.Angles, the second one, I'm going to be changing the first parameter, which is the x-axis rotation, which will give us a up and down motion. So if I just put a 1 there, like I just did there, we should have a character that looks up. So now we have movement this way and movement that way. So now our character is looking kind of up at the sky and to the left. Alright, so I'm going to just go ahead and change that back to 0. Just kind of showing you what I'll be doing ahead of time and a little bit about how it works before we get into the more advanced stuff. Of course, the angles are actually going to have to be, in order to make this whole thing work, where the head is based on where the camera is looking, we obviously have to get the camera's direction. Where's the camera looking? So let's go ahead and place down a camera direction, local camera direction. And now you might, if you're familiar with CFrame and LookVector and the camera, you may think that a good thing to put here for camera direction would be camera, which is this workspace.camera, camera.CFrame.LookVector. And this is partially right because this does give the look vector or the direction of where the camera is looking. However, it doesn't tell you this is relative to the workspace. This is relative to kind of like everything in your game. We need to make a camera direction that is relative to the player, because otherwise our head movement is only going to work when the character's looking in one direction. So this would only work when the player is looking in its default straight ahead direction, but if the character turns around, this won't work anymore. So we have to get the camera's direction relative to the player. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and grab the root part of the player, which is what we grabbed right here. And I'm going to go ahead and do root.CFrame. And I'm going to do to object space camera.CFrame. And now what that'll do, camera.CFrame. And what this will do is it'll give us the camera.CFrame relative to the root.CFrame. And then we just do .LookVector to change it to a directional unit vector. Alright, we're almost done. Now that we have the correct camera direction, we just need to put translate this into the proper angle. So this involves a little bit of trigonometry, but if you know how sine works and inverse sine works for finding the angle of certain triangles and whatnot. In this case, we're looking for, like for example, in this first one, we need to find the amount of the angle of left to right. So obviously left to right, we're going to be using camera direction dot x, and then we need to find the inverse sine of that. So to do that, we do math.asin, asine, and if we go ahead and test that, now if you're not familiar with sine and asine, or inverse sine rather, as it's known in math, you're either just going to have to go with this or you have to research it on your own. It's just a trigonometry / math / geometry topic. Anyway, now when I move my camera, it's now going to take the camera direction and get the inverse sine of its x component of the LookVector unit vector. So if I look left, and now, or right, if I look left or right, there is motion in my head. The only problem is when I look to the left, my character looks to the right, and when I look to the right, my character looks to the left. And that's just because when you get the angle from the camera to the character, it's actually inverse of what you want, so to speak. Like, to fix that, you just put a negative sign right there. And now it's going to be left to left, right to right. And then I'm just going to do a very similar thing over on the x-axis for up and down motion. I'm going to do the math.inverse sine of the camera direction dot y. And that is our finished script. I'm just going to quickly optimize this a little bit by doing local CFrame new, CFrame.Angle, and asine to CFrame.new, CFrame.Angles, oops, and math.asine. And then I'm just going to go ahead and replace CFrame.new with CFnew, CFrame.Angles with CFrame.Angle. This is just going to optimize it a little bit, make it a little bit faster by localizing the functions before they're used, because they get used multiple times in quick succession, because it's a render step. This is going to run every single frame. You want to put those functions in local memory instead of continuously getting them from global memory, because that's going to make it a little bit faster and less intensive on the computer. So negative asine, and then just put asine right here. And that's done. I'm going to go ahead and test this. And as you can see, I get perfect head motion right where my camera looks. The great part about this is that if you look backwards, because we're using trigonometric functions, it actually doesn't, the head actually doesn't look all the way back. It starts when you start right here, it's looking straight, and then it goes right, and then it stops right here, and then it starts to go back as you look straight ahead, which is, I think, pretty cool. Anyways, that's all for this tutorial. If you guys learned something new, please be sure to like and subscribe. Helps me out a lot. And if you want to come talk to me, if you have a question related to this video, be sure to leave it in the comments section. If you have a question, maybe not related to this video, but anything else, you can always join my Discord server or add me on Discord, and I might be able to hit you up in the direct messages. Until next time, I'll see you in the next one.